If they miss appointments, they keep making up excuses, be aware. Big red flag. Hi, Ferris here. This is part 2 of our 3-part series on partnering in business. In the first episode, we covered the pros and cons of partnering. In this episode, I'll go over what to look for in a partner. Ready? Let's go. If you decide to partner with someone, and remember, this is the most consequential decision you'll ever make in business, there are qualities you want to look for. Bad partnership is one of the top reasons startups fail. In the US, it's even higher than the divorce rate. According to Forbes, 70% of partnerships fail. But don't let these stats scare you. Let these stats sober you so you make a sound decision. Here are the 4 qualities to look for in a co-founder. Quality number 1, complementary traits. You've likely heard stories about founders of some of the most famous brands, like Microsoft's Bill Gates and Paul Allen, Google's Larry Page and Sergey Brin, and Apple's Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. In the case of Apple, Steve Wozniak was the innovator, the technical person behind the innovation, while Steve Jobs was the marketer. Keep in mind that when you're looking for a co-founder, look for someone who complements your skill sets and your personality. If you're a super optimist, look for someone who balances out your, at times, naive optimism. I'm not saying you find a pessimist as an optimist that will drive you nuts, but find someone who would validate and verify your business decisions and processes. If you're left-brained and you love checklists like me, find someone who can show you the beauty of spontaneity. Here's a story on how working with complementary colleagues saved me. After consulting with my senior team, I was set on selling the business. At that company and at that time, I didn't have a co-founder. But I made sure I consulted with my senior team on every major step along the M&A process, the mergers and acquisitions process. I didn't want to distract them from their daily jobs, but periodically I would reach out and seek their input and wisdom before a decision is made. If I just proceeded on my own, we would have left a whole lot of money on the table. With the help of my team, those with complementary traits, we made a much stronger and a better decision. The second quality to look for in a partner is shared values. When looking for complementary traits in a partner, values should not be complementary. You shouldn't value trust and your partner values lying. In addition, there are values I don't think you should partner without. Think of integrity, reliability, dependability, work ethics, and competency. I've heard horror stories from partnerships where these values did not exist. Imagine if your partner is really good with numbers and they're in charge of finance, but you question their trust and integrity. That would be a nightmare. But you can't just have a cup of coffee and learn about your potential partner's values. No one I know of ever said, I value betrayal, I value stealing, I value lying. So how do you find out the values of your potential partner? Look for how they execute on their expressed values, how they show up day in, day out, how they treat the waiter at the restaurant, how they treat their spouses, how they treat their parents, how they treat their children. It's their actions that will tell you what they really value. If they miss appointments, they keep making up excuses, they share others' secrets, enjoy gossip, be aware. Big red flag. The above values are a must. Again, they are integrity, dependability, work ethics, trust, and competency. Other values and characteristics can be managed. For example, your partner might be very risk averse while you like to take big chances. These different types of values can be managed. You and your partner can sit down, come up with a process on what decisions you'll make separately and what decisions you'll make jointly. Another quality to look for in potential partners is a shared vision and a shared long-term perspective. The vision for your startup might evolve over time. You might pivot from something that wasn't working to something that's something new. You might offer a new service line. That's all fine and dandy. But once you have a vision, you want to make sure you and your partners are on the same page. As Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said, when we are inch apart on strategy at the leadership level, our teams will be miles apart at the execution level. The vision will inform most, if not all, of your decisions as a business owner, so make sure you and your partners are on the same page. To get the point across, let me share some examples on conflicting visions. You love working with Fortune 500. You love the complexity and the deal sizes of these large clients. But your business partner loves the opposite. They just enjoy working with small business owners. Or maybe you want to grow the business at a very fast rate, but your partner, he or she believes slow and steady wins. And perhaps you plan on growing this business and selling the business in a year or two, but your business partner, he or she wants to ride this business through retirement. These are vision and long-term perspectives in misalignment. You may be able to find ways to compromise, but make sure you and your partners are happy at the end. Finally, look for a partner with shared passion, obsession, and commitment. Someone who's on board and has the same willingness to see this through as you do. When my partner and I started our first company, money was tight for my wife and I. She was a young mom, she was going to school, and we decided to go down to one car. The only challenge is I was the only one doing sales in the company, and I had to go out every other day for clients' meetings. My wife would take the minivan, and then I needed to go and visit clients. But my partner was as committed, and I still remembered he would loan me his new blue Honda Accord. Every time I had a client meeting and I needed a car, I would sheepishly ask him. I was too embarrassed to ask him in person, so I would ask him on chat, and he would turn around and give me the car keys and say, "Go make us proud." That's the type of partnership we had. Find a partner like that. Find a partner in your corner who you can count on when things are challenging. All of these considerations and the 4 qualities we discussed are great. The important thing is make sure you invest time early on to know the potential partner. So these are the qualities and the things to look for when looking for a partner. In the next episode of this 3-part series, I'll cover where to find partners. And don't forget to give back. Today's thought is, no matter where you are in your startup career, you have experiences that those just starting don't have. Consider volunteering to lead a session about your experiences at the SBA or a similar organization. I'd love to hear from you about your stories in terms of partnering and working with partners. Leave us a comment or ask us a question. If you're finding these tips on starting and growing your business helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel.